Just look at the combat log, these numbers is insane. Hail and Matches Adventures. Today I will show you very cool and unique build for Sorcerer in Baldur's Gate 3. If you already beat the game, then you will enjoy it, especially on your second walkthrough. This build is not completely overpowered, but got very unique playstyle and very interesting. So, character creation is really simple and straightforward. You need to pick any character, any race you like, and then we're going to make a Sorcerer. Subclass will be Storm Sorcery, which gives us future to use Tempestuous magic. When we cast spells, we can fly away, and that's great for this playstyle. As you already know, we build in Snow Queen, so we will specialize on magic spells, but this build kicks in really early in the game, so you don't need to pick Ray of Frost. Feel free to just pick something like Firebolt for early game, Shocking Grasp, very nice cantrip, Minor Illusion, very good for exploration stuff and some utility, and you can have something like Bone Chill versus Undeads. As for starting spells, you can go with Magic Missile to have 100% hit chance, very good in early game, and Chromatic Orb. This orb can have different appearances with different damage types. Skill proficiencies is not important, so pick whatever you like, and our stats. Main stat is Charisma. It's your spellcasting ability and it will determine how much you hit your spells. That's why we're going for min-max strategy and getting Charisma up to 17. Next important stat is Constitution. It will determine how good you're at keeping your concentration. We're not focusing at a lot of concentration spells, but they're really powerful, so it's nice to have Constitution score and more health, of course. And next important stat is Dexterity, so we're leaving it at 15. Other stats is not too important for this build, so you can dump them. Leveling is really easy and straightforward too. We're basically playing full Sorcerer. We don't need to pick any other multi-class options. Our spell of choice on level 2 is Mage Armor to increase our armor class. For class passives, we're going for Twin Spell and Distance Spell. On next level, we're picking Ice Knife and our passive Quickened Spell. On level 4, we get an additional cantrip. For cantrips, just pick whatever you like, we don't care about other cantrips. As for spell, we want to get Witch Bolt over here. Basically, we're focusing on Frost and Lightning spells. But on level 4 we can pick a feat, so our feat of choice will be Elemental Adept, and we're going for Elemental Adept Cold, we are Frost Queen after all. On level 5 we're going for Lightning Bolt. Level 6, that's where our class is basically kicks in at full power. We get in Create or Destroy Water, and that's a very great spell for our class, and of course Call Lightning. Nice lightning spell. We are Frost Queen, Queen of Snow, but still we can use some lightning spells if enemies got some protection from cold spells. So as for spells on this level, I would recommend to pick something like Invisibility or maybe even Misty Step, some exploration, utility spells basically. We don't need anything else. Level 7, that's where we get Ice Storm. Very nice, very powerful spell, so we're definitely picking it. Level 8, nothing here, so you can even go for something like Enhanced Sleep if you still don't have spells like this. But on level 8 we got additional feat, and we're going to increase our ability points with Dexterity and Charisma. Level 9 gives us access to level 5 spells, so we're going for Cone of Cold, of course. And on level 10 we get an additional cantrip, we don't care what cantrip we need to pick. Additional spell, again you can go for utility right now, or for some cool concentration spells, so like Telekinesis is a really nice concentration spell, and will fit in our playstyle very well. As for class passives, we can go for additional meta magic, and I'd like to pick Subtle Spell to be able to cast spells when we're silenced. And finally, we are at level 11, we can go for Chain Lightning here, and on level 12 we can get one more level 6 spells, something like Globe of Invulnerability, it's very nice versus bosses. Or you can go for control stuff like Hold Monster, Hold Person, whatever you need. Here we get an additional ability point, and we're going to max out our Charisma at 20. And so what we get here, what we get with this class, what we get with this character, and how to play this girl. And first of all, we need to take a look at gear, how this build works. So most important piece to make this build work is Morning Frost. You can build this stuff by yourself, you need to craft it. It's very, very rare frost stuff, but very cool and powerful. So coolest part, when you're dealing cold damage, you deal an additional 1 cold damage. Basically a little bit more powerful cold spells than it normally would be. But actually it will increase even more when you freeze and froze people. And the idea for this build came from cool condition. So basically when you're using this Morning Frost, you got additional attribute. Dealing cold damage with a spell possibly inflicts shield upon target. And when target is chilled, they become vulnerable to cold damage. And that's crazy because you will do twice as much damage with your cold spells. So that's crazy. But I found that when you combine chilled, very rare condition, with any type of water, creatures becoming frozen. So let me demonstrate. Let's look on his conditions. He is now chilled. And now I just need to drop a pile of water at him and it will be combined in frozen status. So now he is frozen and this means he is vulnerable to bludgeoning damage, additionally to thunder damage and force damage. So if we cast an enemy like this, something like Disintegrate spell, it will inflict almost 200 damage with just one attack, and that's crazy. And of course there's more stuff to this build, so let's continue exploring what I got here for you. Morning Frost additionally gives you a Ray Frost cantrip, so you don't need to learn it by yourself. And every time you cast this cantrip anywhere, you will create some ice like ground beneath the target. So again, let's demonstrate on Minsk. We just throw in cantrip at him and he is prone because we created a lot of ice. And this comes from our ring combination. So Snowburst Ring. When Wearer deals cold damage, they also create 4-meter circle of ice around target. Basically, you're creating a lot of ice on the ground and it's hard for enemies to navigate in this place. Second ring is not very important, so you can pick something like Ring of Protection if you can get it, and you will get more armor class. For our necklace, I would pick a Necklace of Elemental Augmentation. When one of your cantrips dealing any type of damage, you add a spellcasting modifier to damage dealt. And even basic Ray of Frost cantrip will become deadly with this amulet. Now let's go to our gloves. So gloves, when Wearer deals cold damage, inflict 2 turns of encrusted with frost. And this again will make us more chances to inflict frozen status on enemies. Because after 7 stacks of encrusted with frost, the enemy will be frozen. To be able to go on water, we need some additional stuff. And as you can see, I'm freely moving on water because I got these awesome boots. So, Disintegrating Night Walkers. Basically, you can't be enwrapped, entangled, ensnared, and can't sleep on grease or ice. Very nice for our build. As for our cloak, we can pick any cloak you like, and basic Cloak of Protection will work to increase our armor class. Hat is really important. We need this Cold Brim hat. So once per turn, any condition inflicted on target also applies 2 turns of encrusted with frost. And because of our Morning Frost, we can inflict shield. This will inflict more encrusted with frost. Chances to make targets frozen is insane. Because we pick Sorcerer, we get proficiency with shields, so we can pick shield. I like Sentinel shield. You can pick any shield you like, but this one gives you +3 bonus to initiative rolls. So basically, you get more chances to act first in a turn. And this means you will do a lot of ice and enemies will have hard time going up to you and doing any damage. For bow slot, same idea. Hellrider Longbow is really nice, you gain +3 bonus to initiative, so same idea. And now our beautiful dress, what to pick and what we can do with it. If you want beautiful character, go for something like Wave Mother Sorrow. You will be resistant to fire and cold damage. Additionally, if you're standing in water surface at the start of your turn, you will heal some hit points and you will get Create or Destroy Water spell. And that's really nice and cool looking dress. But if you want stronger character, then definitely watch out for Potent Robe. This will add a lot of benefits for us and our build. So, this will add Charisma modifier to our cantrips damage. And this stacks with Necklace of Elemental Augmentation. So basically we're doing double Charisma modifier to all our cantrips. And this means we adding 10 flat damage to our cantrip. So just normal Ray of Frost will do incredible amount of damage without using any spell slots. And additionally, this rope will give you additional hit points at the start of the turn based on our charisma, so it's very nice too. Another cool rope, it's more late game-ish, Rope of the Weave. Not so cool looking, but it's giving you +2 armor class and you gaining +1 bonus to spell save DC and attack rolls, so you got more chances to hit enemies. Basically, it's up to you, but I prefer Potent Rope for this build. It's looking cool, really, Frost Queen. So how to play and what we can do basically with this build. We get 3 spell options basically. This is cold options. So Ray of Frost, our cold cantrip. Range cantrips that doing damage at the range, and if you hitting targets, creating ice surface beneath them so they can fall prone. Ice Knife, level 1 spell, doing some piercing and cold damage. Don't forget we got Elemental Adept, so we ignore resistance to cold damage. And that's kinda the same spell, but it will always create ice surface, even if you miss. But ice damage is better on Ray of Frost, so keep this in mind. Then we got our Ice Storm. It's large radius spell which inflict cold damage and some piercing damage too. Very nice and creates a lot of ice surface. Cone of Cold. It will freeze everything in a cone. Just like that. Then we got our lightning part. So, Shocking Grasp. If someone come in melee range, you can use Shocking Grasp to make them being shocked basically. We get Chromatic Orb, level 1 spell, so we can cast it as lightning or cold damage. It will be basically globes that will do some damage. You can cast it in water surface to make it electrified water. You can freeze this water too with ice spells, so it's really like nice combinations. We got Lightning Bolt, basically like lightning spell that will hit everything in a line, large line, long line, so just like that. And of course Chain Lightning, level 6 spell, incredible spell doing large amount of damage. So then we got our amplification stuff. Create or destroy water. Basically, before a fight starts, you can use something like Quicken Spell and basically cast, create or destroy water with your bonus action. So by doing so, you will use only bonus action and 3 sorcery points to cast this spell. This will create large amount of water and make enemies wet. So let's demonstrate on Minsk, for example. I will cast create or destroy water on him, and he became wet. When he is wet, we can just do any type of cold damage and he will be vulnerable, so we just one-shot him with like crazy amount of damage, as you can see. And we can pick him up, of course. You're fine, Minsk. If you want some concentration spells, so there's level 1 Witch Bolt, which will tie you with target for some like lightning damage, or Cold Lightning, which will do circle damage in area and will destroy everyone. And you will concentrate on this spell and you can cast it every turn basically, so until you lose concentration. Of course we got Telekinesis to concentrate on it and just throw targets every now and then to some places, and some utility stuff, but it's not important. So we're picking Mage Armor because we're using no armor at all and Shield is not armor, and by casting Mage Armor on yourself, basically level 1 spell, at the last levels you will have something like 21 AC with this build, and that's crazy in my opinion. 21 AC is really large number, so it will be really hard to hit us. And how it ties together. Basically you're doing water in a start of the fight, and then you're doing some ice damage. It will inflict large amount of damage to enemies. They will be chilled, frosted, maybe prone, and as a Storm Sorcerer you get in this Tempestuous Magic Flight, so you can use bonus action if you haven't used it to fly away basically. That's crazy, so you're a really mobile person, but even without this like spell you can basically move away. Targets will be prone and they will probably just stay on ice for this turn. They will try to get out, maybe they will be lucky and they will get out. So you rinse and repeat on the next turn basically. You're just creating more water, creating more icy surface with maybe Ice Storm. You can just use any ice spell on target. They will be wet, they will have double damage, and you just kinda kite them. So you just attack targets, kite, attack targets, kite. If for some reason they can melt ice, maybe they get some fire spells, then you switch into like Chain Lightning spells and just destroy everyone. So that's crazy. Let me show it on real enemies. So here we are, my player wants to treat us. Let's use Subtle Spell and maybe just cast something like Destroy Water on him. And now he will be wet, yeah. Additionally, because we gave him wet condition, he is encrusted with frost at the same time, thanks to Cold Rim Head. Now we will try to use basically Ray of Frost on him. Basic cantrip, no spell slots. And just basic cantrip doing 50 damage. 50 damage, guys, with just cantrip, because he's vulnerable to fire damage. He is wet, basically. In my opinion, that's crazy, because he is chilled at the same time. So when he's chilled, we can just throw water at him. Look at this. And now he's frozen. He's frozen means he's vulnerable to our basic damage. Even with our Morning Frost. Yeah, you won't be able to hit enemies that got high AC with your normal attack as mage, but still, some enemies is really possible to hit, even mind flares. Look at this strike. Oh my goodness, Baldur's Gate stuff. But yeah, we just did it. Better just use something like Ray of Frost and destroy these guys. In case there are multiple targets, again, you can use something like Create Water on them, and you got different options. While one of the basic options is to just use any lightning spell, like Chain Lightning or other spells, actually there is a really nice option to use Metamagic Twin spell. You just use it, and without using any spell slot, you can cast double Ray of Frost on 2 targets at the same time. So double Ray of Frost is always a nice idea to do. But of course there's fun interaction if you're willing to use 6 sorcery points. You can use Twin spell, Chain Lightning. So we'll basically cast double Chain Lightning on these guys, and they will be demolished in 1 second. They will literally receiving just insane amount of damage. They will be chilled, frost, frozen, whatever other conditions they will have, and you just run away from them. In case targets is too spread out, you can use something like Ice Storm to hit all targets at the same time. And here it's doing crazy damage too. And in case your enemies is frozen, and maybe you picked not Globe of Invulnerability to be protected, but other spell, like Disintegrate, which doing force damage, and frozen target is vulnerable to force damage. You can basically disintegrate them from this state easily with great amount of damage. So if you wanna inflict this amount of damage every turn, basically, and one-shot half of the enemies you see in this game, this build is definitely for you. Because I don't know what you think, but in my opinion, being able to cast 2 Chain Lightning, which is level 6 spell, in 1 turn at different targets, and basically destroying them at the same time is just crazy. Just look at the combat log, these numbers is insane. I hope you will enjoy playing this build, but I got more awesome builds coming for you very soon. Make sure to watch them on the screen right now if they are ready, and see you in the next videos.